Praveen, the topic for today's discussion is first love. So,
Are you talking about romantic love?
no, man, not at all. It's totally different. And in fact, I would like you to talk more on that. But before we actually get into the discussion, let me throw some light on this topic. So, a lot of times we see believers or Christians, they come up to us and they tell us that, okay, I had a very good spiritual life a few months back, but as of now, I'm not able to maintain that good relationship with God. My personal relationship with God has deteriorated. Or even some people come up to us and say that I'm not finding time to pray. I'm not finding time to worship. I'm not finding time to read the Bible. I'm not finding time to attend fellowships or church services. So they mean to say that they are going through a crisis in their lives. And I would like to explain more or talk more on these points on how to get out of these situations or what is best in such situations.
This is a very common experience in most of the Christians. I too have many youth coming to me and saying like, Anna, we used to be very spiritual before, now we are struggling to be spiritual. And they say the previous days of their spiritual life are the best, for which what they are pointing is, they are saying like their first experience with Jesus, the moment they were born again, the first few days where they were so passionate about Jesus, they were very passionate about his scripture.
They had a fire in Jesus.
Fire in their Jesus. They had the fire in their belly for Jesus, and they were reading the scripture, praying, and slowly, because of their schedules or whatever the reasons, they were slowly reducing in their so-called spiritual disciplinary activities, and they feel that they're spiritually dry. They are not spiritual at all, and they feel we should always get back to the first love I have with Jesus, and which is very common in most of the Christians. But the solution is this: when we talk about the first love, first thing is we need to understand what first love is.
True. Yeah.
Okay. The Bible, in Bible it says, while when it is spoken, while it's talking about love, Bible tells it is not about how much we loved God or it's not about our love. It says the first person who loved here is God. God loved us first. That's what the scripture says. God loved us even before we were ever created. Even before the foundation of the world, he has chosen us in love, as Apostle Paul says in Ephesians chapter 1 verse 3. In love he chose us to be holy and blameless. In his love we are holy and blameless. When? Even before we were ever born. The first love here is not the kind of passion I or you have towards Jesus, but it is God's love towards us. When we focus on God's love, how unconditionally he loved us, how he accepted us, it will help us to overcome this spiritual dryness, and which will bring us back the joy of our salvation. So understanding the first love is always important. Focusing on the first love is always important. And that first love is not our love towards God, but God's love towards us.
Amazing, Praveen. Thank you so much for this wonderful discussion. So as he had correctly said, focus on the love of God towards you and you will definitely find solace. Thank you. Thank you so much.